Heidi ho, my peeps, and welcome to tonight's Dollar Tree dinner. What we're doing is a cream of mushroom, creamed salmon on like a pan toasted Texas toast. So this couldn't be simpler. I'm going to turn on both of my burners, one for the back there and one for the front here. Alrighty. Now, you just take your Texas toast pieces. I've got 3 people eating, so I'm going to toast 6 of these. I just love these really thick pieces of bread when you're doing a meal where you're pouring some sort of a sauce over bread. They work really, really well. So I'll pull out these 6 pieces. Okay. Now, I've already got my burners on, as you can see. And I'm going to take a little bit of butter, and I'm going to drop this butter. This is probably twice as much as I need. I'm guessing that's about... I'm going to start with about a little over a tablespoon. That's going in the pan. I may add more depending on how much butter the bread soaks up. So I'm going to let that start to melt over a medium heat. Then I'm going to take my cream of mushroom soup. I'm going to dump it in the pan. Well, actually, I'm not going to dump. I'm probably going to grab a spatula, and I'm going to spatulate that into the pan. Ooh, and boy, is that too hot. That's all right. Boy, that looks like the Blob out of that Steve McQueen movie. All right, moved it off the fire a little bit. Yeah. Then I'm going to take, this is the milk that I bought at Dollar Tree a while back, last week. This stuff is great. I mean, it's wonderful for cooking. It doesn't need refrigeration until you've opened it. Then, of course, you need to refrigerate it. So I'm going to take a full can of the milk and put that in there. And I'm going to take a little bit more milk, about a third of a can more. That's going to go in there. Now, I am going to move my butter around. It's melting nicely. This is going to go back onto the stove, and I'm going to stir it up, break up the soup pieces so that it gets nice and creamy. I actually am going to whisk this, I do believe, so I'm going to grab my whisk. Hang on. Maybe I'm not going to grab my whisk. Well, instead of whisking, okay, so I've got my butter nice and browning. So what I do is I take a piece of the bread and I just drop it onto the butter, and I soak up butter on one side, and I do that with each piece of bread until I have buttered one side of each piece of bread with this kind of browned butter. Looks like I will need a little bit more butter to make this totally come out, so I'm going to throw on a scant tablespoon, get that to browning. And now I'm going to take my salmon. I've yanked the bone part that was in the center. I've yanked that out. You don't have to. In fact, it's probably good for you to leave it in, but I don't like it. So I pulled it out, and I'm going to dump it in here in the soup. And I'm just going to smush this around and get it all incorporated. And I'm going to bring this this salmon and soup mixture to a nice simmer. So while that's heating up, I go ahead and finish buttering these pieces of bread. My last one just got a little bit of butter, so I'm going to pick up a little bit more. Now I've got the last 2 pieces. Now, while the soup is heating, while the sauce is heating, I'm going to take these butter side down and I'm going to toast them on my skillet. I'm going to do them 2 slices at a time. Now I'm going to grab some serving plates. Okay. There are 3 of us, so I've got 3 plates. I just love these plates. They remind me of having good times with my friend Abigail. Kind of check that. It's looking good. Looking good. Don't want to over toast. That, put it off to the side. All right. Aren't these pretty? I just love these. Okay. Does this one have a chip? No. All righty. So I've got my plates out and ready to go. All right, so that's nicely toasted. So I'm going to drop those 2 pieces in one of the serving plates, and I'm going to toast the next 2 pieces. Give this soup stuff a little bit of a stir. Yeah. Now, I'm going to thicken this a little bit. And the way I'm going to do it is with a little bit of mashed potato. I bought this mashed potato mix at the Dollar Tree, so let me grab it. And let's check that. That's looking good. And so is that. So we're going to do the last 2 in there. I think I'm going to turn on my vent. Alright, so what I'm using is the Betty Crocker loaded mashed potato, which I found at Dollar Tree. Look, they're almost toasted. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to pour about 2 tablespoons of this into the soup. There we go. Now I'm going to stir that in, and I'm going to let that simmer for a bit and thicken up. Alrighty, our toast is done. I'm going to take that off the fire. Looks beautiful. Now you can do one of two things here. You can just leave the bread whole the way I have, or you can cube it up and you can put it back into onto your serving dish. I'm going to leave it whole. Now, this hasn't quite come to a simmer yet, so I'm going to let that go for a little bit longer. I want a nice simmer on this before I stop it and pour it on top of the toast pieces. So, while that is cooking up, I think I'm going to sponge off my area. I'm not very good at clean as you go. I tend to be not messy. I tend to be very messy. Alright. Now I'm going to grab a ladle so that I can ladle this when it's time. Well, I hope all y'all are enjoying these 3 ingredient meals. This is even less than a $3 meal because I only used, less than half of the bread that was $1. I used $1 worth of soup, $1 worth of salmon, and then, I don't know, 10 cents worth of the potatoes maybe? And I am going to pause this real quick and come back when that is ready to pour. Alrighty, our cream of salmon has acquired a nice simmer, so I've taken it off the fire. I've decided to change horses in midstream. I'm moving to the big plates because I had forgotten the patented bed of greens. Should always serve this kind of food on greens. This is that cabbage that I bought at 99-cent store the other day. I cleaned it, cut it up, put it in the refrigerator with a damp towel on top, and now I'm going to make my bed of greens and put some balsamic vinegar. This I got at Costco, but you can get any kind. Now we're going to put the toast on the top, like so. And get our ladle, and we are going to ladle this up. You want to try and cover the entire toast so that it gets soft and it's easier to eat that way. Alright, so there we go. There's Grant's dinner. Isn't that lovely? So we're going to take this to Grant right now and see what he has to say. I cut off a little piece for him, so all he has to do is fork it up. Tell me what he thinks. Oh, honey bunny.
Yes, sweetie.
I've got food for you.
Oh, boy. Ooh, looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little bit soupy, so you'll want to keep it even on your knees there.
That's cool.
Yeah. See, I cut off a little corner so that you didn't have to cut it. You could just fork it up and take a bite.
Thank you so much. I love salmon.
Don't you, though?
Very good.
Do you like that dinner?
Of course I do.
Oh, yay. Grant likes the dinner. Yay. Okay. I'm looking like crap because I was in the, oh Lord, I'm looking in the mirror, I look horrible. Anyway, I was in the dentist chair this morning at 8, climbed out of there at 10:30, got in the car, drove over to Grant's parents. We worked all day packing up. We're still packing up the house, but it's coming along very nicely. And then I hopped in the car when it got dark, and I jammed down the hill and went to see my mother for a little while. Then I hopped back in the car and I jammed home and I made this dinner, and I'm very, very tired, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!